Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here. How you doing? Today is Monday, February 1st, 10:57. Actually, it's just coming up on 10:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you guys know, each and every day, Monday through Friday, we go live. We stream live to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today's topic is a good one. If you'll look at the ticker, and for those of you on the podcast, number 122, man, we're racing right towards that 200. We'll be here before you know it. But today is podcast number 122, dealing with attrition in your business. One of the biggest problems we all face in network marketing, whether you're a veteran or a rookie, is attrition, people leaving your business. We're going to take a deep dive into that subject today. How do you keep those people? How do you get your attrition rate to go down where more people stay with you long term? That increases your profitability, increases your stability, and increases your chance for achieving greatness in this business model. Join us today so you can learn how you can keep attrition to a minimal. All right, guys, if you will, once again, as always, if you'll use hashtag #TheMLM Solution, hashtag #TheMLM Solution to share our podcast and our social media platforms with our fellow network marketers, we sure would appreciate it. Thank you in advance. God bless. We'll see you in a few moments. All right? Okay.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today?
Good morning, Rob. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to February. How did that happen already?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say to that. It's February, Miss Marie.
I know.
Where did January go?
That way, it's in the rearview mirror. It's already gone. So for those of you that made New Year's resolutions and you're still sticking to it, you're 1/12 of the way through the year. Good job.
There you go. There you
Keep
go.
going.
Well, I'm hope and pray. Well, it doesn't look like this year is going to be any different politically. Hopefully, it'll be different in other aspects. I know that the wife and I's lives are different already, and I'm really being aggressive with my rehab on my arm. I'm not happy with some of the input I get from the doctors. Not saying the doctors are wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that no one has come out, and I'm not going to drag this on, but no one's come out and said, hey, with this type of injury, people typically take longer to heal. With this type of injury at your age, people your age take longer to heal. You need to do this, you need to do that, and this. Don't worry about this, and don't worry about that. Everything's going to be fine. I don't get any clear-cut information like that. Nobody says, hey, at your age, this kind of injury is going to take a while. Hey, you fell a long way. You got to realize there's a lot of damage that's deep down that continues to come to the surface. Nobody's telling me this stuff. So you know what, Miss Marie? I'm like, screw this shit. I'm going forward. So the wife and I have been really aggressive in attacking the physical therapy aspect of it. I've been, as you know, working it, but not really aggressively because the bone has not been healing. If you look at the x-ray, it's still not healing. But I don't know how much x-rays show versus MRIs. But the point is, I saw x-rays that we just took about 10 days ago, 11 days ago, and they're no different than the ones I took last September. That's not a good sign. But once again, nobody said, hey, these things happen, right?
Well, it's always frustrating when you're not making the progress you want to make, and nobody's like cluing you into the reality of the situation, right?
You get it.
That's love the way you segue right into our topic for today.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Dealing with attrition in more than one way, in more than one way for you, right? With this arm injury, you've had some attrition in terms of your mobility and movement and all that kind of stuff. And it's frustrating to go through, especially when it creates a situation where, well, it just makes you more frustrated because you don't know, you don't understand that what is happening is kind of predictable for the situation. And had someone warned you, you could have been at least mentally prepared. It may not make it any less frustrating from a physical ability perspective, but at least you'd be mentally prepared for the path that you need to follow to get where you want to go.
Thank you. Thank you. You get it. You understand. And that's exactly the point. I wrote the second doctor, a very detailed letter. I have a good habit of doing that. Clear, concise letter, bullet statements. And I don't make these letters this long. Nobody wants to read that crap, especially a doctor. You know what? I just get in there. Hey, this is the questions I have. I would like to get the answers because I'm not making progress and I'm frustrated. And that's it, And he did write back and he took the time. He did a really good job. And basically he said, hey, you know what? You're going to be patient with yourself. I mean, there's no way for us to tell you that you should be at point B right now versus C or whatever. He said, each one of these situations are different. He said, I don't know what to say. He said, you're right. You could have a low-grade infection that's keeping the bone from healing, but all the labs look normal, and they do. I get to see the labs, and there's nothing that stands out. So there's no danger. In other words, my health is not in danger. So I just, after all that, I just told the wife, said, you know what, we're just going to go for it. What in the hell have I got to lose, right? I've been careful. I've been patient, trying to give the arm time to heal. Guess what? It hadn't done shit. It's time to move on. So the New Year's resolution was spot on. You're right. If you're still doing it in February, guess what? You're serious, and I'm serious. It's time to move this shit on.
Yep. Let's make some progress.
Along with our show. That's right. So, today is a good topic, dealing with attrition. Well, I tell you what, guys, I hope and pray that you guys have been listening to our podcast. I hope and pray you take them serious, especially the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, not just with the people. 1/3 of your people you sponsor will do it now. 1/3 will do it later. 1/3 will never do it. But guess what? It applies in the calendar year as well. We've talked about that, Miss Marie. We did an episode on that. This business works in quarters, just like a regular business. All right. And you got your first 3 months, which is your first quarter. All right. And I hope that you guys, we talked about in December, and we'll no doubt do it again this year because we always have new people checking us out. So for the old timers, it might sound like old news, but for you new people, this is going to be refreshing content. But the point is that in December, and I would say probably the last 10 days of November, we were constantly promoting how to create momentum in 2020, the last quarter, and it would jumpstart your business in 2021. And January is critical. Even if you're a new person, come in, lay the foundation. January, February, March, and then April, May, and June could be spectacular. And we're going to tomorrow, Miss Marie did a great job. Tomorrow's topic is the next 90 days, right? And if you look there, tomorrow's subject right there on the ticker, the next 90 days. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you join us tomorrow, you'll find out what that means. The bottom line is, guys, is that you have a situation where today's subject and tomorrow's subject is going to go hand in hand with what we've been talking about. January, February, March sets up April, May, and June. Okay, and April, May, and June is the next 90 days. Well, what is the next 90 days? We'll talk about that tomorrow. We're not going to get into that today. So really what you're doing now is you're dealing with attrition. All right, that means you already have a business in place. If you're new, listen up. You'll learn something. You'll be prepared for attrition. You'll know what to do in advance to reduce the attrition. Because look, guys, if you go to sponsor 10 people and 7 people leave, guess what? You're left with 3 people, and the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 works on those 3 people, meaning that you have less than 1 person. You have like a 0.03 person. that's going to do anything. Well, guess what? There's no such thing as a 0.03 person. So that means nothing's going to happen out of those 3 people. Okay. So you say, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me now, look, batting 300 in baseball, making a multimillionaire, batting 300 here will too, but you got to work the numbers. And one of the ways to work the numbers is dealing with attrition up front so that you don't have 7 people that leave right away. Maybe you only have 3 or 4 people that leave right away. Now you're batting 600 and 700. That puts you in multi-million-dollar category. And you say, well, Rob, what does that actually mean? Guys, look, if you have 7 people stick around, you're only going to have 1 person, maybe 2, that are going to do anything serious out of that group. Well, that should excite you, not get you down, because that means the other 4 to 5 people are going to be small business, retail business, or a customer. And that's awesome. Okay, you don't care where you get your volume from. You just got to create volume. The key is to keep people around. And we're going to talk about how you can make that happen here in a little bit. So even though we teach you the numbers, don't let the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 freak you out. The 1/3 is going to do its job whether you freak out or not. If you go in the corner and suck your thumb afraid of the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, then guess what? You're dead in the water. Go out there, just create a mess, and guess what? The 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 will do its work one way or the other. Okay? And sometimes, Miss Marie, you're only going to get 3 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 10. Okay? There's no reason to give up. You have to keep moving forward because guess what? Eventually, as you change as a person, because I'm telling you, and Miss Marie and I talked about this, and I'm going to shut up here in a minute, let her put in her valuable input. But here's the thing, guys. Your personality, your approach, the way you deal with people, the way you treat people, if you're not all about the money, even though you might be, don't come across that way in this business. Be about people. And guys, if you do that in this crazy world, you're going to be miles ahead of everybody else. Your peers are going to struggle to keep up with you because you're going to attract people who don't want the chaos, who don't want the stress, who are looking for something positive in their life, not only monetarily, not only business-wise, but also just to be around somebody that's calm, somebody that's got their act together. With this chaotic world that we're in, it's refreshing to be around somebody that is focused, that is motivated, is moving in a positive direction and not freaking out. Would you not agree, Miss Marie?
Oh, absolutely. And it's always fun to find those motivated people that stick. And if you're really fortunate, you find them early on because it's super motivating when somebody gets engaged in the business, really sees the vision, seizes the vision and the opportunity and really goes for it, right? And starts building. You're like, that's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
But from a pure numbers perspective, more often than not, that's not the way it plays out. And where people tend to struggle and get discouraged early on is they will identify someone as this person would make a great business partner. They'll understand the products, they'll understand the compensation plan, whatever the case may be. You just expect them, if you can get them to sign up, they're going to go gangbusters, right? And you'll get that person to sign up, however it's accomplished, and then you turn around and the next thing you know, they're either doing absolutely nothing whatsoever, not even returning your phone calls, or they just simply disappear or change their mind and they tell you, nah, you know what? I got too busy. Maybe I'll get to it later type of thing.
Yeah.
And it can be super discouraging and disappointing, especially when it happens early on. So that's why it's important to know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you're relatively new to this business or you're thinking about getting into this business for the first time, just be prepared. You can have what seems to be the most perfect person sign up and do absolutely nothing.
Right.
You can't focus on that. You have to move on and keep bringing in new business partners. Keep looking for those people who are motivated, who have a high level of ambition, who are successful out in the world already. And even sometimes those that may not have a track record. College age kids have come into businesses and have like taken off because they haven't been tainted by any other business. They don't know any better. They're like, okay, tell me what I need to do. and they just follow the plan and they go. And
Yeah.
you're like, yes, I wish I could clone you. That would be
I
fantastic.
know, isn't that the truth?
So the attrition, that falling away that happens, is just a natural part of the network marketing business. And it's unfortunate that the attrition percentage tends to be pretty high. Now, you can flip it and look at it from the other side. I know there are some companies that will focus on retention percentages, right? How many of their business partners they're keeping, how many business partners they have on auto ship this year compared to last year, how many customers you have retained over the course of a time period, usually annually, however it looks. And don't get me wrong, attrition is going to become a problem both on the customer side and the business partner side. It can impact both equally. You can have customers that absolutely love the product, swear by it, will tell you, this week that they would never live without it. And all of a sudden next month they're off their auto ship and something happened. Maybe there was a job change, a salary adjustment. They have to make some financial adjustments. And granted, we all know these are high quality products that these network marketing companies put out. They're not necessarily cheap, right? Sometimes you can find the knockoffs at Walmart. They're not going to be as good, but they can be very similar, and people get lost in that pricing game, which is unfortunate. So you can have customer attrition happen as well as business partners. So just be aware of that from both sides. And again, it's all about building that volume. So you'll watch your volume kind of fluctuate a little bit, especially in the early going, because your numbers are small, right? As time elapses, as long as you're working the business, you're doing those consistent and correct business building activities, consistent being the key, over time, the numbers are going to work more and more in your favor. That volume will stabilize, and then you'll find a consistent growth pattern. And that's not to say the attrition still isn't going to happen in there. It's just not going to be as impactful.
Yep. Well said. Well done, Miss Marie. I agree. And guys, we want to bring up something here. Look, you have to understand, in the beginning, in your first 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, whatever the case may be, it'll be different for everybody. Guys, it's going to be a rough road. And she just stated, look, you're going to have a lot of attrition in the beginning because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what to say, even if you're a nice person. Even if you do everything right, guess what? It's not going to be easy going in the beginning, but you got to keep your head down. You got to, as she said, do the 5 simple steps and be consistent about them. Okay? Because here's the thing. She just said it. Look, the numbers are going to work in your favor. And it's going to end up being the thing about this business, which we really haven't hit on as much as we should. Everything about this business is consistency, guys. It's a delayed gratification consistency. You got to know, okay, this business model is built where gratification and results are down the road, not now. We have given you stories where people have made $5,000 in the first month, $25,000 in the first month. Guys, we use those examples that are true, and they do happen. But do you realize that's like 0.01% of the people that those things happen to, okay? You might be one of those people, but don't look at it that way. Go in and just do the business for 90 days. There's a reason why we tell you to do this, do a 90-day mini blast. There's a reason why we tell you to set up 90-day goals. Why? Because we realize that we got to get you to focus on those 90 days, because we realize that if you get discouraged in your 30th day, your 60th day, you'll never make it to the 90th day where things really start to happen, where the numbers really start to work their magic. Miss Marie, there's a reason why your check comes. If you did a lot of activity in January, you don't get your check until February. Number one, because they calculate the volume and all the product that move through your business. Number two, they have to give your business time for that momentum to do its job until the 31st day. Okay. And then in February 1st, the cycle starts over again, and you won't get your February check until March. Okay. There's a reason why most companies don't do it on a weekly basis. Okay. Because they understand Miss Marie. And it's a delicate balance if they pay on a weekly basis. I know some have done it and have done it successfully, don't know how. But here's the thing, guys, it takes time to build up that momentum and to build up that volume. And companies don't want you to get discouraged if they pay you every week and you don't get a check and your buddy is, okay? Or you're not getting a check and nobody around you is. That gets discouraging and you see all these other people making money, okay? The reason is companies understand that this business takes time, that the real winners stick with it and have a long end game, all right? So you say, okay, what's that got to do with attrition? Well, it has a lot to do with attrition because the bottom line is that, as we just stated, when you first start out, guys, look, you got to realize that if I go out and I sponsor 10 people in January, and I'm new at this, I don't understand the business model, I don't understand the ins and outs, all the intricacies. Look, I may only sponsor, there may only be 1 or 2 people max out of the 10 people I sponsored in January that will stick around in February. Okay, there's a lot of reasons for that. Too many to go into here. But I have to say, okay, you know what? Rob and Murray told me about this. I got to keep going, be consistent. Don't, let the numbers work. They're magic. My job is to do my numbers. In other words, go out and go through as many leads as I possibly can, as quick as I can. Why? Because I'm trying to get the numbers to work on my side in the second month. So let's say this month I sponsor 15, 16 people instead of 10. Well, now my numbers are going up, okay? Not only the people I'm sponsoring, but I'm now understanding the scale of ambition. I'm using the music to the ears message better. I'm attracting a higher quality person, a person that's used to being committed to their goals, a person that understands business, understands how the business model is working, how they generate volume, that they get paid on that, blah, blah, blah. And so now I'm starting to sponsor people, and out of those 16 people, I may have 5 or 6 that will do something right away. I may have 2 or 3 more that'll come on later. And now, but I won't see that right away in February. I have to work through February, okay? Because if I'm going to sponsor 16 people, very few people can sponsor 16 people in 1 week. It does happen. Happens quite regularly, believe it or not. But let's just say we're normal and we're going to sponsor 16 people in the month of February. Well, guys, if I sponsor 16 people over the month of February, 28 days, guess what? That real pickup, that real volume, that real momentum doesn't really start to take effect until March. Okay. So I'm going to get paid, Miss Marie, on the 16 people I sponsored. If I got a bonus, and they call them training bonuses, you can't get paid for signing people up. But for training bonuses, volume is created through the packages, the starter packages, all that. So I'm going to get paid for January's work, right, Miss Marie? February's work, 16 people. So I'm at least going to get paid that, which should be $300 or $400, maybe more. But the real momentum starts to pick up in March, Miss Marie, where those 5 to 6 people are getting their feet under them. The other 2 or 3 people are coming on in March instead of February, and they're starting to get their feet underneath of them. And guess what? In March, Miss Marie, I'm getting better, and I may sponsor another 15 or 16 people. I might even sponsor 20 people. Now the numbers are starting to work in my favor. The momentum is starting to pick up. I've got people out there doing stuff at all different levels. No superstar yet, but I got solid things going on. Right, Miss Marie? Here's the thing, guys. You have to understand that attrition is going to happen over that January, February, March, because I'm new. I'm learning. Out of the 30-something people that I sponsored over those 3 months, I've got probably maybe 19 of them left that are actually doing something. The rest of them are gone. That is the way it is. It's attrition. It happens. I'm lucky that I kept 19 out of 30-something people, and that is batting an outstanding average. And instead of me focusing on the 14, 15, 20 people that did nothing, I got to focus on the 19 people that are sticking around and actually doing things at different levels. That I can work with, okay? It's the having nobody. If I focus on the negative, which is people that are not doing anything, people that are gone, that can get depressing. You think, well, I'm just beating my head against the wall. I'll never make it in this business. But yes, you will. Because Miss Murray, what you're doing, you're building up an active pool of people. And the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 starts to work on that active pool of people because the dead pool of people is gone. The 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 doesn't work on that. It doesn't apply to those people because there's no activity. So the numbers don't work on non-activity. They only work on active people. Does that make sense?
Well, absolutely. And one of the things to keep in mind too, where the numbers really kind of start working in your favor is even though people may come in, get started in the business and may fall away, become a victim of attrition more or less, they may still be a customer. They still may be contributing volume to your business. So it's not necessarily a complete loss. So again, over time, that's where you have your volume building as well. So, don't get caught up in some people being a complete loss. You'll have people bouncing back and forth. You'll have some people that'll come on and go gangbusters for a while, and something will come up in their personal life, or they will hit a certain level of achievement in terms of income they wanted to bring in order to take the family to Disney World, for instance. And you'll all of a sudden see them drop off for a few months. And then they'll come back. So, there's an ebb and a flow to it as well. Just because people fall away doesn't mean they're totally gone either.
Right. And very good point. And guys, let me just say this. Don't focus on the word attrition. Don't focus on attrition. Focus on the positives, which is consistent, correct business building activity. Just do that. That's all you got to do. Just keep this business simple. So now let's talk about the things that actually will help you retain people and help reduce the effect of attrition. Number one, your personality. Number two, the words that come out of your mouth. Number three, the way you treat people. Okay. Number four, your success. Number five, the lifestyle that you live. Number six, getting them their first check. Okay. Number seven, having a proven business building system that you can show them, promote, and teach them how to use. Okay. And number eight is success for them. You focusing on them and letting them know verbally and through your actions that you care more about them than you do your own success. I'm telling you guys, if you do that, you're going to be huge in this business. You're going to be successful. Believe me, if you focus on helping the other people that you sign up, if they are willing to work with you, remember, they move, you move. You don't drag them across the finish line. They move, you move. But if you got that kind of relationship where they're moving towards you, guess what? You need to move towards them, meet them in the middle. Why? Because you have somebody that will help make you wealthy. But you got to help them be wealthy, okay? And a number of them. But the point is, you have to take your eyes off yourself and focus on them. If you do, attrition is going to drop dramatically. Why? Because number one, they look at the total picture. If they're going to look at another company and say, hey, I'm going to get paid 2 cents more over here with this other company, and then they sit down, and if it ever comes up on a phone call and they say, hey, I'm thinking about leaving, going over to company so-and-so, whatever, and you can say, well, hey, I really hate to see you go, but I understand if you feel like you need to go on your own. But just keep in mind that, we have a great thing going on here, not only professionally, but personally as well. And I really hate to see you go. I enjoy your company. You don't want to beat them over the head. You don't want to give them a hard time. Every entrepreneur wants to face new challenges, but sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side. Now, why do I say that? Because having that very gentle, but yet very revealing conversation can also reduce attrition. Okay. If they're going to go, they're going to go no matter what you have to say. So there's no sense in trying to force them. No one say force them, convince them to stay, sympathize with them. Look, people love to make money. They're entrepreneurs. They have a wild seed in them. They want to know if they can do it in another company. Your job as a leader is just to be very gentle and say, hey, look, I'm not sure that's a good idea. It's, catching lightning in a bottle is really hard to do. You got a good thing going on here. My recommendation would be ride this company out until it ends, okay? Because you're really making some good money and you're heading down a special road. I'd hate to see you, because everybody thinks, Miss Marie, that if they do it once, they can do it again. That's not always the case. It's a small group of people that can do that. So, guys, I just went through 8 things there that gives you, if you need to rewind this audio or video, write those down. Write those 8 things I just went over that helps reduce attrition. Okay. Look, The product will keep a certain amount of product people. If they love the product, they won't go anyplace else. They'll stay on the product forever. I still get products from Amway, New Skin. It seems like there's another company in there somewhere, because I love the products. I can't get the same quality product anyplace else. Okay. So the bottom line is I've been a customer for 30 years, Miss Marie. Okay. Why? Because it works. Why would I change? All right. So somebody's getting that volume, right? And they've left me alone. They don't call me. They don't harass me. They don't do anything. They just say thank you. Okay. So the bottom line is that the same thing will happen to you. All right. And you got to let the customers be the customers. They let me be a customer. There's nothing they can say that can convince me otherwise. Okay. So what's happened by them leaving me alone? Their attrition, I didn't leave. Their attrition with me and others are going to continue in their customer base to be low because the customers are typically, Miss Marie, the most dedicated. They like the makeup, they like the laundry soap, they like whatever it is they like, the juice, and by golly, they're going to take it till the day they die. Okay. So, you know what, guys, let the customer be a customer, right, Miss Marie?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're all good, and you never know, because there are situations where customers love the product so much they find themselves talking about it. They'll refer other customers, and I mean, then you have the conversation with them. Hey, if you're going to act like a business partner, you might as well benefit from being one.
Yeah, and
I mean, I love that. I love that you're referring other customers to me, because I certainly benefit, and maybe I'll give them a gift card or something as a thank you. But I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm cheating you. You should become a business partner and sign them up under you so you benefit. That's
right. And yeah. But I mean, you'll have downline, Miss Marie, that will decide the business is not for them and be customers to the end.
Yep.
And like myself, I mean, I quit Amway, went to another company. I have nothing against. I didn't quit the business, but I love the product, continue to use it. But the thing is, guys, here's the thing. I'm talking about attrition. There's customer retention and customer attrition. Okay. Then there's you have your mid-level people, which look, you have customer, you have retail, you have small business, you have medium business, and you have big business. Those are the 5 business models in this industry. Okay. When anybody that joins a company, those are the 5 choices. Okay. When I say retail, people that set up booths at what do they call those things?
Flea markets, fairs. Yeah. I mean,
fairs, yeah. Right. Thank you. Guys, those that is retail. All right. You're selling that product at retail. You're not trying to be a distributor. You are a distributor by the proper definition legally, but you are not a business builder. You're just a distributor of the product. You're charging basically retail. If you choose to discount it, it's up to you. But you're setting the product up just like you would any other product. Okay. That's your retail. A customer is somebody that's on auto ship like myself that has Amway New Skin products delivered to the home on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis. Okay. That is a customer. So I just wanted to clarify the differences between them. Small business, somebody that's a business builder that's making anywhere from $50 a month to $200-$300 a month. Okay, that's small business. Okay, maybe even up to $500 a month. Medium-sized business is where somebody's doing $1,000 to $5,000 a month. And then when you get into the big business, to be honest with you, I could say it's between 5 and 10. But it's typically going to be about 7,500, really 10,000 or more a month. That's when you really start to get into the big business category. So the bottom line is those are the different levels of businesses that are in the business model. So I tell you that because I want you to understand that attrition in each one of those scenarios or examples are different. Okay. As we said, if you have customers that are purely customers, they're very dedicated. They will stay with the product for a long time until something happens financially or to themselves. If you have somebody that's been doing retail, as Miss Marie said, eventually somehow, some way, they're going to wake up and say, hey, this is not working. I'm going to these flea markets. I'm driving here. I'm driving there. I'm making a little bit of money, but I'm not making enough to justify what I'm doing. And then you have the small business where somebody makes their first check and they start making $100, $200 a month. They're saying, hey, there's real potential here. And those people have the potential to become your medium-sized to your large-sized businesses. Attrition at every level is different, but the one thing you can count on, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay. Ms. Marie, we say if you can sponsor 2 people at every 10 you talk to, especially when you're beginning, that's doing great. And a lot of people would be like, I remember when I first started out, oh my gosh, that's horrible. They said, no, it's just like baseball. If you're batting 200 or above, you are in a situation where you're going to make a ton of money. And it bears out. It truly does. It's a direct comparison, a great comparison. But here's the thing, guys, you can do better. And the thing is, believe it or not, it's the intangibles. It's your personality, your words, your commitment to them. I'm telling you, that goes way above the money. Okay, way above the money. Because look, they'll say to themselves, look, I can go to another company and make the money. Rob's such an ass that I just can't put up with that guy. I don't like working with him. He's negative. He never has anything good to say. He's got a foul mouth. And it's just really tough being on the phone with this guy, or really tough being, I just can't really do it. I need to look someplace else. You know, it's got to be somebody better to work with. And even though they're making money, Miss Marie, they're miserable. Okay, guys, I give you that example because this is a big part of attrition problem. There's 2 big things that Miss Marie, see if you agree. Personality of the person you're working with. Well, 3 actually. A non-productive business building system. And number 3, not making that first check or any money at all. Those are the 3.
I totally agree. I was going to say, you know, Rob mentioned 8 different things you can do to help minimize the attrition in your business. And I would say the top 3, quite honestly, are, first of all, being there for the people that you bring into the business. That's probably problem number 1 that I hear. People get signed up into the business and the person who signed them up is gone. They have no idea what to do. So confused people
I was
do
amazed by how much I heard that.
Right? So they fall away. So first of all, you know, support the people that you bring in. And what you want to do is you have our 5 simple steps, a very clear, concise, duplicatable business plan to execute on. Get them going on that. And that leads to number 3, getting that very first check, that proof that it actually works. The excitement of, even if it's just $10, which may seem like absolute pittance to most people. It's like, who gets excited over a $10 check? Yeah. Well, the person who has the foresight to understand it's just the beginning of the building block that they're going to have for their business.
That's right.
So, you know, being supportive, being there, doing what you say you're going to do, and supporting your people, training them to do the consistent and correct business building activities of the 5 simple steps, very duplicatable. They're going to do the same thing with their people. And as long as they're following those steps and doing the activities correctly, they will get that first check, and that will motivate them, and it can snowball from there.
Yeah. You know, Miss Marie, I don't know. I can't even remember I sit here and try to think of my first checks, and I really can't remember them. I kept most of them, but over the years, there's no telling where they are. You know, I mean, that stuff. But, you know, the first company was Amway, and I don't know if my first check, it's $5 sticks out in my head for some reason. But I know people, especially in the Amway business, that had framed their first checks, $7.85. You know, they went on to become huge successes. Yeah. And they were so proud. They had them hanging in their office, and they were so proud.
It's similar to the restaurant owners where you go in and you see that framed dollar bill they have on the wall, right? Restaurants do that oftentimes. It's like the first $1 I made in my restaurant, because they're proud of it. And it's like, is it a huge amount? Is it impressive? No, it's $1. But it was just the beginning.
The first $1 of many.
Yeah.
You know, and guys, guess what? How does the lottery get to be almost $1 billion? $1 at a time. A person may put $5 down, but that $5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $1 bills. Even if it's a $5 bill, it's still made up of 5 $1 bills. Okay, it's $1 at a time. Okay, and guess what? That dollar can be huge, as Miss Marie I think, Miss Marie, in one of my businesses, my first check was $1,900.
Nice.
But it started with $1,945. It seems like sticks out. But it all started with that $5 in Amway. Now, this was a different company, but by that time, I had learned how to make the business go. So making $1,900, and most people are like, "Oh my gosh, how in the world did you do that?" Well, guys, after you learn how the business works and you work the numbers and you know how to create the volume, you're like, "Hey, this is easy." Okay. Now, there again, it doesn't happen all the time. I was lucky, believe me. Well, I always have to remind everybody, and not myself per se, Miss Marie and I, guys, grew up in the golden era of network marketing, where every company was going through tremendous growth. So it was easier for us to catch. And we touched on this before, not to drag it on. We're at 40 minutes. But guys, it was easier for us to go from one company to the other, to recreate that magical moment, because a lot of companies were going through that explosive growth, and all the variables and all the elements and all the synergy and excitement was coming together to form this explosive ball in Nu Skin, in Herbalife, Metaluca. Miss Marie, we talked about it. You've been there. You saw it. You experienced it. So you could, back in when you and I were doing it, catch lightning in a bottle more than once.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much, we covered the 8 things. She brought up the top 3. She's absolutely right. Those are the top 3. If you address those top 3, the other 5 have a negligible effect on attrition, but they still do. But if you'll go back and listen to this episode, this is huge. We talk about what on the surface looks like boring subjects, but guys, this is a biggie. This is a biggie. How hard do you want to work? If you sponsor 10 people and 10 people go away, that's no fun. That means you got to go out and sponsor another 10 people. Okay. That means all that work was for nothing. Okay. But if you can sponsor 10 people and keep 4 of them, you're going, "Oh man, thank God 4 of them. So I don't have to replace all 10. I only have to replace 6. Okay. And Miss Marie, that's the way I looked at it. I mean, I'm kind of playing the numbers here a little bit. Guys, look, if 4 out of the 10 people stuck around, I lost 6. In my mind, I needed to find another 6, and those 6 needed to be a 5 and above on the scale of ambition. Why? Because I'm trying to work the numbers. I'm trying to condense the numbers from this to this. Okay. In other words, we condense the time frame of success from this to this as well. That's the reason why. So I wasn't trying to numerically replace those 6 people, Miss Marie. I was trying to replace the 6 people who ended up being 5 and below after I sponsored them on the ambition scale with people that were 5 and above. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So my next cycle of sponsoring people, the first 6, I'd be like, okay, I replaced the 6 I lost. Now I can start working again. And so then I would try and add another 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To make the numbers work in my favor. Guys, hopefully that makes sense. I'm condensing the time frame and the effect from that to that. That's what I was doing. I was working the numbers. I never gave that a little insight before, did I, Miss Marie?
Nope, that's a good one.
Well, it's one of those little tricks you learn. When they first told me that, I looked at them like, what? I mean, it just went right over my head. They're like, come on, Cootie, get a grip. And then finally my sponsor sat down on paper. I was like, oh, I get it. And sometimes that shit went right over my head. I don't know why. I don't know. Something so simple, I made it hard,
Yeah, sometimes we have to learn things the hard way. I know I've done that plenty of times.
Gosh, yes. Oh. All right. With that being said, guys, real quick, on our website, this is going to be coming down. I know I said that last week. I've been working on the website. Miss Marie knows I have been extremely busy. That is no excuse, but I'm in no hurry to take this down, but this is coming down. Actually, today and yesterday, Sunday, I was working on the site quite heavily, making major changes, all for the better. And the thing is, this is going to change. It may come back down the road. I'm not going to say it won't, but I'm going to tell you this is going to change. Guys, do not miss out on this. The 4 critical mistakes most networkers make. We talk about it all the time. The reason we talk about it, because this is the cornerstone of most of the people's problems out there. They're making one, if not all 4 of these mistakes, And these mistakes eat away at the very foundation you're trying to put in place. If you're making these mistakes, you are not going to create any momentum. Your chances for success are greatly diminished. Don't let that happen to you. Find out what these 4 critical mistakes are. Avoid them, okay? And if you do have them happening in your business, learn how to overcome them, okay? Because if you notice, the title says 4 critical mistakes most networkers make and how to overcome them. We tell you how to do that. Okay, that's the peanut butter. The jelly is the 5 simple steps to networking success. We talk about all the time. Guys, we actually show it on the screen what the 5 simple steps are. And let me put that up real quick. You can see it. And there it is. There's the flyer. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's exactly what we talk about all the time. That is the basics of the business building process. And that's what you want to do. That's what that book is. 5 simple steps to networking success, outlining each and every step in great detail so you know exactly what to do and when. Okay? And to bring it together, the Zero to Networking Hero is the bread that brings the peanut butter and jelly together. And you have all 3 of these. They have 1 video, 1 audio that goes with each and every one of these. Those ebooks are written in a short, concise manner, very descriptive. And when you get done reading it, you'll know exactly the points that are being made. The video and audio will help take that knowledge level to an even greater height. Okay. And we talk about this, the numbers game, we talk about all the time. Guys, go there and get that. Okay. 1 video, 1 audio, and the ebook. It's absolutely essential. Threshold of profitability, we talk about all the time. There it is right there. Guys, same thing. 1 video, 1 audio, and the ebook. You cannot beat this combination of knowledge. And then one of our mainstay products, what not to do in network marketing. How would you like to be a focused business building machine capable of great things in this wonderful business model? You can do that by learning what not to do in network marketing. It's written in a way where the 1 paragraph tells you what not to do, and then the very next paragraph is what to do on the same subject matter. Okay, like recruiting. It tells you, hey, don't do this in recruiting. And right after that, the very next paragraph is do this instead. So it's telling you what not to do, but following it up and telling you what to do once again, so you know exactly what to do, what the potential problem is, how to avoid it or how to overcome it. And there's 146 of those paragraphs, and there's 146 audios that go with that. Great, great product. Ms. Marie, there's going to be some real changes coming up. Probably this week. No, I won't say probably. It will be this week. We're going to be having links to all of this. We're going to start having slides during our show so that when we're talking about the 8 things that help reduce attrition, they'll be on the screen as we're talking about it. So people can write them down so people can see them. And we're going to have links to these things here so that people know exactly where to go. And it'll be on a page like this where I'll have the link so they can go right to it. How's that, Miss Marie?
That sounds fantastic.
Yep. So that way you guys won't have to go to the website hunting and pecking, although you can go there and you can go to the search bar and put it in there. You know what not to do in network marketing, and bam, the product will come up. But we'll put the link on there so that you guys can actually go to it right then and there. So with that being said, Miss Marie, I think we had a good show here. We talked about a subject that's very important, and one that I hope that people take seriously, because it is very important to their success. Attrition is one of the major challenges, is the best way to put it, that we all face in network marketing. Young, old, experienced, and a rookie, we all face that mean booger. All right, tomorrow's next, excuse me. Tomorrow's subject, next 90 days. Guys, that's going to be a good one, hand in hand with what we're talking about today. You do not want to miss that. The next 90 days. Look, you have your 90-day mini blast, but you have a following 90-day period that really will determine where your business goes. So with that being said, don't miss that. Please, once again, share our hashtag DMLM solution with our fellow network marketers across the globe so they also can have access to this wonderful information. Miss Marie, with that, I think it's time to go.
Sounds good. See you here live 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning talking about the next 90 days.
Here we go. God bless everybody. Take care. See you later.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.